Stage 1, pressing for flight.
We're go for launch. Let's light this candle.
Yes, sir. Reading you loud and clear. Clear. The clock has started.
The clock has started.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
The United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars.
That's right. You heard it. You heard it here first, folks. Welcome to Pressing for Flight, live from the Space Coast, where the schedule never holds.
Thank you, Trumpy.
But this will be the launching point of the first astronauts to go to Mars.
Nars!
That's what I thought I heard.
That's right.
I've always wanted to go there.
Man,
I'm your host, Stephen Marr. With me tonight, I have Stephen, Mr. Kegel.
Hi, everybody.
I have Matthew, Mr. J.
what's up, guys?
And then I have Matt, Mr.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? I've been looking at that. I'm like, where did my last name go?
You can change it. You can change it
Oh.
if you hit the little. Put your mouse over yourself, and then you'll see the little 3 dots up there, and you click on that, and you can.
Oh, that's where it is. Okay. Zoom is all new, folks. It's all learning experiences, kind of like.
New. We've only been using it for a month.
Yeah.
Well, we all, you know.
I only
all
learned
draw
that like last
together,
week.
you know.
And we have Becca, Mr. Pinland.
Hello.
Becca watched. I watched as well, but she just told me today that she watched the Challenger special thing on Netflix,
Yes.
and I didn't warn you, but. What did you think? Was there anything that you didn't know that it kind of helped you understand about it, about the whole disaster?
Of course, there's always going to be things I don't know.
Anything you can like remember specifically, or how it made you feel? Like, let's talk about that.
Well, as I said earlier, the directing was really good. The way that it was put together was really good. So it was able to. It interested me immediately as soon as I started watching it. And I think that for the most part, what I got out of it was a lot more emotion about it,
Mm-hmm.
and actually really paying attention to learning about the people. And yeah, I know a lot more now than I did before, and I don't know if I'm better off for it, but here we are.
I think the thing that always strikes me the most, and especially with this documentary, it's really good. I just saw Harry. Yeah, he just said I can't bring myself to watch it yet. It is tough, especially if you know what's coming, because there's clips of her parents watching the launch, and there is a moment there where they've never seen a launch, and there's a moment in there when they think that everything's okay, you know, after it happens, and you know, and you got the husband, he's trying to console, you know, like, oh, don't worry, like it looks, you can't hear what they're saying, but it kind of looks like that's what he's saying is, you know, don't worry, she's good, and obviously that wasn't the case, but the thing that strikes me is how important that mission would have been. Not that any is, you know, more, you know, if it was the next shuttle mission that blew up, it would be just as tragic. But when you think about the reason they picked her, and she was an amazing person, you know, I don't think anything that I've ever watched about the Challenger went into as much depth as that does about her and people that knew her. It's got her sister on there.
You know, also then she was like not an astronaut.
Right.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
everyone's like, hey, anyone could have a chance now.
Right.
Yeah.
That was kind of the deal. Yeah.
In fact, there was a sister program to the Teacher in Space where they were selecting the first journalist in space.
Mm-hmm.
And the person who was going to be selected was actually Walter Cronkite.
They mentioned that in there, that he wanted to be the first civilian.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was a sister program, and it was canceled after the fact.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And the kid from Christmas Story, he was supposed to be the first kid to go.
Oh, that's
to
right.
space.
Dude, when I was watching that and I saw him on there, they didn't say at first who that was, and I was like, man, that looks like
You can tell by his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, that's definitely him.
And I had just in the last few weeks watched a movie that you guys have probably never heard of, but it's called The Dirt Bike Kid. which was
Oh my god!
really,
Oh my
really.
God.
Oh,
Oh my god!
that's
My
him.
kid friends.
I used to have to rent that every weekend and watch it. Oh
I
my
never
god,
heard
videotapes.
What is
It
this?
was such a
on?
good
It's-
movie. It
it's-
was such a good movie.
It's on Prime, I think, is what I watched it on.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I didn't pay for it. I don't think I would have paid
Now
for
I
that.
gotta
but-
find Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Is he in that too?
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime, yeah. So yeah, you want to? Dang it!
Oh,
what-
I didn't really as that kid.
Yeah, what's his name? And then what's his
That
name?
kid?
What?
His name is That Kid.
What's okay? At least what's his name in Christmas Story? Ralphie.
Ralphie?
Yeah,
Ralph.
Yeah.
Peter or something. Where's it at? I just saw it.
Yeah, and that was another thing I didn't know, that he was in the stands watching Challenger.
Yeah. Her sister was there. All their families was there.
Daryl said Billingsley.
Everybody.
I guess his last name's Billingsley. That does sound right.
Billy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody was there watching that. You know what I mean? And then when it happened, it was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Me watching, I've watched it twice now, and I'm probably going to watch it a few more times because I think it's brilliant. I think it's very well put together. The intro, I love the intro. The music to that has a real nostalgic like sound to it. I just think it's great.
It's got a very
I've
J.J.
been watching-
Abrams feel to it. Lots of
Exactly.
lens flare.
God, it's just so good. But I saw stuff in there that I'd never even seen before, like them taking out the pieces of the Challenger and actually seeing the one piece that said Challenger on it.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never seen them take the recovery. You know what I mean? I've never seen any of that. So that was all new to me.
I thought it was impressive that they got some of the managers. Of course, I can't recall their names right now, but they're sort of the bad guys of the story, you know, the ones that sort of pressured them. Now, granted, they were being pressured also. You know, NASA was trying to hold a schedule that they had promised to Congress, trying to keep the funding rolling. You know, so there's really no one to blame. I don't think anybody should have gone to jail or anything like that. But, you know, these guys that overruled what the engineers had to say, you know, it's heartbreaking that happened. And I hope nothing like that ever happens again.
Also, that time they didn't realize that cold was going to affect it that much.
There were previous launches that were launched.
Like the first one failed, but they weren't.
And there was a correlation to the cold, and it wasn't as cold. It wasn't nearly as cold, but it was. They did notice that on launches that happened in cold weather, coldish weather, then that's when they were experiencing the issues with the O-rings the most, and it was burning through the first layer and starting to char the second layer.
You know, the one thing I didn't like about the documentary was the lady, or her dad was one of the engineers for the. What was it? I can't remember the name of the company.
For Morton Thydacol.
Yeah, and she was like acting like her dad knew. Of course, he must be passed, but that he knew this was going to happen, and he told her many times that on this launch. And like, in hindsight, I don't know. He might expect concern,
right?
But then they picked her to over dramatize it.
Yeah,
and I was just like, I
I
don't like this lady.
Concern, yeah.
And if you say something bad's going to happen every single time, then eventually you're going to be right. You know, clock's right twice a day.
Yeah.
But he did have some insight on there was an issue with the O-rings, and they knew they needed to redesign those joints. And of course, after Challenger, they did redesign those joints. One of my questions.
I wish they would have shown how they redesigned them in the documentary.
Yeah, they didn't really
just
show.
Going, they redesigned it. It's better than ever. And I was like, okay.
Maybe because it's proprietary, because those. Basically, the same boosters are going to be flying on SLS.
It's not just that it's proprietary. That is going to be a very technical conversation.
You could show us the shape of it. Like what
At
was
least
it?
Show the shape, yes, but like explaining exactly the differences between them. That's a very technical conversation, and that's really outside of the reach of like their target audience.
True.
Well, they showed how the original ones worked. It was
Right.
basically just two seals at the top and then smushed together.
Right.
Yeah.
That was it. Two O-rings.
Yeah.
Like how you can show what the other one could be that much more.
And Harry is saying in the chat here, he's saying that Scott Manley actually covered the SRB issue really well.
That's right. He
So
did it. Yeah, he
that
did an
information.
SRB episode here recently.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely go back and watch that. Before we started the show, someone asked Harry, did the Delta launch in your future? I think that's funny because Harry lives in the future, y'all.
The future.
Well, we have our launch forecast for tomorrow night, or if you're crazy, then Saturday morning. They are the window as it was advertised is 12:01 to 1:30 ish, but apparently they're targeting 12:14 a.m. Tomorrow night. We have 40% chance of violation. That's 60% go for you optimistic folks out there. And then the 24-hour delay is only 20% violation. So,
Where's the graph or percentage of ground failure?
For ground,
man.
ground equipment or GSE, ground service equipment.
They replaced the plenums. We're good to go.
Yeah. Hopefully tomorrow night we'll get to see our Delta Heavy launch. There's not really much to say about it. I know that on the tweet I was talking about the hype train, but it's an NRO payload, so there's not a whole lot that can be known about it.
We don't know too much about it. Let's see if I can find the information.
But it's a big rocket.
We do know that
it's a big fun rocket to watch.
They did their review, their pre-launch review. I can't remember the exact the name of it, but they are clear to proceed with preparations for launch.
Launch readiness review.
That's what they call it when it's for a NASA mission. I know they did that. Do they still call it the same thing for something like this? Okay. So there's that, and then if this goes on time, I'm gonna assume that the Starlink launch is kind of hinging on Delta Heavy going, but we also have that weather forecast. That's only 30% chance of violation, so 70% go. That's Sunday morning. Let's see. And here I'm gonna tell you all a little trick. And I probably wouldn't have said this months ago, but I've been paying attention, and this seems to be the case. When it's a Starlink launch, look at the valid time, and it says 10:33 to 10:54. Right in the middle of that is going to be your launch time. So it's 10:43, 10:44, right? It's not 10:33. Sometimes people will post online that 10:33 is a launch time. It's not.
Kennedy Space Visitor Center did that today.
They did?
I posted 10:33. I was like 10:33. I had to go double check everything.
Yeah, and hell, maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've already seen people posting. And actually, surprisingly, Ben Cooper's site doesn't have. His still says TBD for Starlink. I just looked. In fact, I'll go ahead and jump to that because I had it at the end. Here's how. Just another source to find launch dates. Because I know that sometimes they're hard to find until the launch provider is good and ready to announce it. But if you go to launchphotography.com, that's Ben Cooper's photography website, click the space and launches link. It's at the top bar on the left, and then go launch viewing information. And it's kind of hidden because you're like, I'm not looking for launch viewing information, but this is where he puts his dates and times, because he does get. Sometimes he's the first one. I know that Michael Baylor a lot of times will post what the dates are, and he'll be the first. But it just seems like Ben Cooper has these dates up. He knows these dates. Obviously, he's a contracted photographer, so he gets these dates probably early. Sometimes I'm surprised that he's allowed to go ahead and post these dates, but he is, and so that's a great service that he provides to us.
So info's on the NROL 44. So the information that I have, the largest satellites in the NROL arsenal are the crystal satellites, which are a visual optical look down type satellite. And there's another type that are called ELINT, which is electronic signals and intelligence. So basically the ELINT, and that's what a lot of people are thinking this guy is, it's a giant disc, just antenna that they put into space, and they just suck up as many signals as they can, anything that's being put out. They don't care what it is. They want every signal that's being put out and coming off of the earth in this ELINT thing. And then they'll, use
go through it later on.
Yeah, they'll use their analysis techniques.
To our show.
Yeah, they will get a chance to listen to our show.
Excellent.
Yes.
Through the big
space.
dish in the sky.
I don't know if y'all noticed. I just highlighted this over here. Eric, I believe, in the chat. Yeah, Eric Schweikert pointed out that it's the Falcon 9 mission. I guess whoever made the PDF forgot to put what the actual mission was.
Mission name.
That's awesome.
You gotta put these things out a lot. They forget.
It's true. It's true. They're humans. There are actual people behind these things.
True story.
Quickly, I thought this was kind of neat. Gwynne Shotwell was named one of the 100 most influential people of 2020, and well deserved.
Well deserved.
Yeah, I think she's become my favorite SpaceX employee.
Yeah, she's
over
awesome.
Elon. I don't know if you consider Elon an employee, but she's awesome. Like, I'll stop everything to hear a talk that she's giving. You know, she's very smart and many times a lot more agreeable than Elon. You know, sometimes Elon's a little abrasive, but she's a little more diplomatic, and I dig it.
If anyone has cable or access to it, the Science Channel had it was NASA and SpaceX Journey to the Future.
Oh, okay.
2-part like doc. It was really good. It kind of just went through the beginning of for human spaceflight, and you know, the tests and the failures and all that stuff.
On what channel? What was it?
It was the Science Channels.
Okay, of course I don't.
I think it's you guys. It's probably on demand.
I know it's on demand on Hulu.
We get that free cable that just comes with having a condo at this particular place.
Don't you have on demand stuff?
We do have on demand, but we don't have Science Channel. Yeah, so if you don't have the channel, then you don't get the.
True.
Boom, 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 boom.
You can come over here and watch it. It's good.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Another kind of quick thing, not really space related. We had have a special visitor here to Port Canaveral. Soon to be USS Delbert Black arrived last night. It's a big, beautiful destroyer. And I say soon to be because apparently these ships don't actually take on their names. Actually, Matt Jordan could probably speak to this better than I do, but they don't get their name. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is PCU, which would be the official title, PCU Delbert Black. The newest, I believe it's an Arleigh Burke class destroyer.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
I remember looking this up yesterday.
Yeah, so Arleigh Burke, great class of ship, tin can Navy. That's about all I got to say about it. I don't know. I was on a submarine, man. Our ship sank on purpose.
But the naming, like they don't actually get their name until they're commissioned.
No, they
right?
do not get their name until the bottle of champagne is broken upon her keel.
Okay.
So that will be happening in Port Canaveral.
Yeah,
on Saturday.
Yeah, and it's parked at Terminal 1. So we're typically, you know, ships like this or submarines, they'll go into the Navy base and you can't really get a good look at them. But if you know where Terminal 1 is, better yet, if you know where Grills is, it's right next to that. It's where one of the Carnival cruise lines or cruise ships sails out of. I don't know if John Van Horn is in the chat, but dude, great job on this one right here. Here, I want to make sure people see. Follow the real John VH, John Van Horn on Twitter. Great guy, great photographer. Look at this, beautiful use of black and white. You can just kind of barely see the clouds back there. I think that's great. I mean, these head-on shots are just awesome. So bravo to John Van Horn. Follow him on Twitter. Do that thing. So that's big ship into port right now.
I read something that it was finished in like 2017, and then another boat ran into it and caused like $31 million worth of damage. Refurbish it because of that, and I was like, "Geez, this thing's been."
It's already been through hell, you know.
Yeah, somebody commented that story in on my tweet down here somewhere.
So we actually had this one come into Port Canaveral, and then over by Boca Chica, they had another destroyer coming in to be recycled. I don't know if you guys saw those pictures or not. Yeah, somebody had tweeted about it that the same day that this one was coming into Port Canaveral, one was coming into the port by Boca Chica, and you could see the starship and all that in the background.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so the destroyer was damaged in an accident in 2019 when a Norwegian flagged vessel struck a barge that subsequently struck the ship, causing delays to the construction and about $31 million in damage.
Yeah, that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah, it does. Let's see. Okay, so you guys may know that last week's Starlink mission was delayed, scrubbed, if you will. And this is from those times. Julia posted this sort of helpful diagram showing, like what the drone ship has to deal with out there and sort of why they had to delay, because I'm pretty sure it was not delayed because of weather here. It was delayed because of the landing conditions. They have lots of axes to deal with. They got forward, backwards. They got roll, pitch, heave, sway, yaw. Y'all come back now. So because of that, and also she posted this chart of wave height. And
that takes me back right there.
It's kind of chill for a few days. This is covering several days. You got the 17th, 18th. It's going every 12 hours. And then on the 20th, it just starts to skyrocket. They're getting like 14-foot waves, 16-foot, almost 17-foot waves on the 21st. And this is sort of what they had to deal with to get home. And so there was a lot of talk of, well, we got to get out there. We got to get some pictures, which is always fun. If you're off and you live nearby, it's always fun to go out there and welcome the fleet home anyway. But the question was there any damage? And it does not appear as if there was any damage. It was it was one of those things like you're just shooting and shooting and shooting and you're not getting anything good until at one point they kind of stopped and the drone ship just kind of sat still for a little while. So I was able to get some longer exposure. There's still a little bit of motion blur here, but it's as sharp as you can get that late at night, which this was sort of how I got those shots of the toppled Falcon Heavy center core that one night. I was just trying, and then finally they got to a point where they stopped. Basically, I mean, you never really stop when you're on the water, but stopped enough that you could go like a second worth of exposure, and maybe, bump your ISO up a little bit and still get some nice clear shots. So you could see there's a little noise here because I had to bump that ISO up. Christine S. doing her thing. This one probably has the most motion blur of all.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't look like there was any damage.
No.
Everything looks to be in place. And then the assumption was that they were going to read the instructions back out for the Starlink mission. Before we go there, Kyle, awesome video, man. So we were out at the end of the pier at Jetty Park, and Kyle he's fixated on getting crew transfer, and just as they're passing the pier, you could see him doing it, right? And here's the video. This is all made up because he just held his shutter down and he was doing on, fast release or fast continuous. And right as this was going on, the Jetty Park official, as well as a sheriff's deputy, they come up to the end of the pier and they're like, all right, guys, you gotta pack up and move on out. You got like 10 minutes to get out of here. And I know it's going to take at least that long to walk down to the end of the pier. And Kyle was trying to plead with him. He's like, look, if you just let me get what I'm trying to get right now, I will run down the pier and I will be out of here on time. And then the dude responded with, well, I've got a deputy right here with me. We can see what he has to say about it. And he starts threatening us with trespassing. He's like, I'm going to trespass you if you don't get moving. And I didn't even want to talk to the guy. I just grabbed my tripod and started walking. And then as we're walking away, he's, like, well, there's some other places you could go. Like, dude, we know the places. But, he got what he could, and you get to see one dude jumping across there. So that's kind of neat. I thought that the transfer had already happened, but Kyle was able to grab them jumping across. So very cool.
BSP. I have an answer for the chat and a dad joke
What do you got?
for the chat. All right. Why do Norwegian ships have barcodes on the side of them?
Okay. Yeah. Why?
So when they get back into port, they can Scandinavian.
Ba-dum-da-dum-dum.
I wish I had a kazoo.
That's what I was looking for.
Wow. So they can
Fantastic.
scan in the Navy and scan in
Oh,
the-
Harry, I didn't mean to steal your joke, brother.
Yeah, so like I said, everybody thought that they were going to turn right around and just read the instructions out, but they pulled the switcheroo, and Finn, I mean, less than 24 hours, man. You gotta respect this crew and this captain, because they were not home for very long, and they got sent right back out, and they were towing, of course, I Still Love You. And for anyone that doesn't know, it's easy to tell the difference right now until they do the upgrade, but of course, I Still Love You still has the blue thrusters that fold down into the water, whereas Just Read the Instructions has these huge cylinders at each corner, and the thrusters like slide down into the water, as far as I understand it. They lift it up out of the water so they're not causing extra drag, but when the drone ship's deployed, they slide down and keep themselves in position. And always go with the one with the bird in it.
One bird.
Excellent.
That's all you need. One bird.
Yo,
One bird for the
Harry.
shot.
Yo, Harry, what do you do when you want to have a solar system party? You plan it. That's my go-to joke.
So the question on everyone's mind, well, if Finn is out towing, of course, I Still Love You for Starlink, who's gonna tow Just Read the Instructions for the upcoming GPS mission? Right?
I wasn't quick enough to have my horse sound ready, but yes, that is the question.
An old friend.
That said, I could mute you. Mute who? Who I need to mute? Well, guess who's coming back?
Oh yeah.
Hawk. Some people's favorite tug. And
It's cute.
and I tried to I'm in Gavin's Discord. If you support Gavin on Patreon, you can get in the Discord too, and sometimes we talk about various things. Actually, that had a lot to do with my ability to see the destroyer come in, because we were already talking about it in the Discord, and he was saying that he wasn't sure when it was going to happen, and it's kind of hard to track these ships. So I was already ready. He said it might be tonight, it might be tomorrow, and then, of course, he found it somehow, found it on marine traffic. It was not labeled USS Delbert Black. It was labeled like T4Q105, easy listening or something like that.
Harry.
There's too many jokes going on.
Yeah, anything can be a UFO if you're bad enough at identifying objects.
That's great. I'm stealing that. That's going in the repertoire.
So I was, he was saying how excited he was that Hawk was coming back, and I was like, look, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little embarrassed to say that I like Hawk just fine. Hawk is a great tug, but I don't know why Gavin and Julia like Hawk so much. They get so stoked about Hawk, and they were super sad. Well, I think it might just be because it's towed the most. It's done the most. It's done the most missions. I don't know. And when I asked him, he said, what did he say? I'm not going to look it up on my phone, but he's like, just because it's the best. So very, very vague.
It's the best little tugboat.
Like, I thought he was going to say like, oh, we know the captain and he's, super cool dude or something like that. But it's nothing like that. Just,
And
It's
the name.
the best.
You can't always explain your favorites.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
It's the best name.
Yeah.
It's a cute boat.
It is, yeah. It's not as big as the others, right? It's well, yeah. Look at this. You've got like Finn sticks way up out of the water.
Got all those extra tires on there.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
many
that's
tires.
like 3 tires tall from the water.
I wonder when the last time was he rotated those tires.
I bummed them.
I want to see Hawk again.
You got to get those tires aligned.
Hmm.
What do you think?
You could fit 3 tires on the front of that.
I got little moped tires on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're smaller tires.
Wheelbarrow tires.
Like-
I'd have
It's got
to see
Honda
this
Civic
boat in
tires.
person.
Honda Civic tires. The stanced ones.
Well, you should be able to see it in person, at least for booster return. We're gonna have like 2 booster returns in 1 week if everything stays on schedule, which
Ooh, yeah.
they don't. It just doesn't.
We'll have one eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, well, officially, if Delta Heavy launches and then Starlink launches, that'll be 2 in 2 days. That'll be exciting. I'll be watching that one from the parking lot, I believe. Be the first one in a while I'll watch from the parking lot. Okay, moving on, and I think
Can I ask, Eric said you guys measure tugs tires in the same way I measure whiskey with fingers.
yeah. How many tires tall is it?
Whatever.
All right, so Jim Bridenstine testified before the Senate Appropriations Committee. Is that?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. And don't worry,
Senate
he's got
Appropriations Committee.
a smiling
Yeah,
face.
big smile.
This is Diet Mountain Dew. Am I right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
That is Mountain. Yeah, it's Diet Mountain Dew.
Everybody says just Mountain Dew, and so
No, that's Diet.
and they continue to say it, and I'm like, am I wrong? I said Diet Mountain Dew, and everybody
No,
else says
he's
Mountain
into the Diet Mountain Dew.
Dew. Okay. So is
Yeah, 'cause
Dave.
it's got that lighter color green is Diet.
Right. Or gray.
It may be some
label.
kind of
Avocado
special
color, I
edition
don't
label
know.
because you can't see the diet on the
Right.
label, but it
It's the
does
cap.
look like the diet
cap.
label. Oh, that's
the
right.
cap.
It's lime green.
Oh.
Yeah, the cap is the
Mountain
bright
Dew
green.
one is dark green.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And just so Jim, I know
Mystery sauce.
you're listening. So just so you know, I did agonize over finding the right picture. At first, the first few screenshots, it was those ones where it's like your eyes are like you're like mid blink, and you're kind of like looking all haggard. And I found a spot where you look great, and I think this is a great smile. But,
That's an award-winning smile. That's a space exploring smile right there.
Eyes open.
Yeah.
We're just gonna DM him. But hey, what kind of Mountain Dew was you drinking the other day?
Yeah.
Diet.
Is it diet?
Well,
Is
it's
it
the
Diet?
gray
Real
label.
John
The
says
gray
it
label
is.
is Diet.
Yeah, exactly. It's diet. All right.
It's
What do you got for us, Matt Jordan?
So he went up before Congress. He was asking for money, as he is wont to do at least once per year. So he's essentially saying, hey, we want to go back to the moon. The president wants to go back to the moon. And this is what it's going to take to do that. And he was asking for a $3.2 billion increase for fiscal year 2021. It was supposed to happen. It did not, because the fiscal year begins on October 1st, and they have not passed an actual budget, the one that would include that increase.
Right.
So we're on what's called a continuing resolution. That means that the current funding that they would receive every month is what they receive every month, and it's not going to change.
Yeah, it basically
The
just
government will not shut
continues
down.
whatever the previous budget was. It just continues that, right?
Now, I was listening to Planetary Society's Space Policy Edition. I now have a job in Melbourne, so I drive like an hour and a half each way, going to and from work. So in doing that, I get to listen to a lot of podcasts. So I was listening to the Space Policy Edition, and what they were saying is really that what has happened is that the president is so abrasive and brash that Congress, being what they are, in politics being what it is, they're pushing back against him in everything that he supports, and that now includes Artemis. So they're gutting that funding. That funding is not going to go through that way. They're not going to get that kind of increase because the president supports it, and Congress can't support what the president supports in
if it's a
current layout.
Democratic controlled Congress.
Yes, and the House of Representatives holds the purse. They are the ones that give NASA money every year. That is their job. The Senate approves it, and they come up with it together, but the appropriations process begins with the House. So the House is Democratic led, which means that they're going to be anti anything Trump is for, and that includes Artemis at this point. And it's sad that that's kind of the way things go when you politic everything.
Yeah, and it seemed like the at least the people he was speaking to, there's only a couple members of Congress at this meeting that they had.
Yeah, the rest are watching on Zoom video.
Yeah. Well, it's an appropriations committee. It's not intended to be everybody, but it seemed like they were somewhat supportive. They had some questions for him, like he was asking about the Estee Lauder thing, or one of
the Estee Lauder thing for the testing makeup in space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she was like, and I like Estee Lauder, and it's a great company, but can you explain to me why this is a good idea? And it was, they're not getting as much money from, I think it was like $180,000. It wasn't much. No, it doesn't even cover the mission.
A whole lot of money. Yeah, no, it doesn't cover the mission.
NASA's not a profitable.
No, they're they're not a profitable business. They're run by the government. They're not supposed to make money. But you see these missions going up that are sponsored by Budweiser. You see missions going up that are sponsored by Reebok. You see missions going up that are sponsored by all these large companies. That's just a form of advertisement for those companies. It's advertisement that is blanketing a science project, but it is a form of advertisement.
Right.
So, this is, I think it's a good thing. It's with Estee Lauder,
it brings more people in. One of the things I thought that Jim should have said, I was waiting for him to say it, like when you have these companies, you have Budweiser sending up stuff, and I think Lego, Nickelodeon sent up some slime and stuff. It's an opportunity to bring people in that weren't already interested. So Estee Lauder is going to be able to, spread that their stuff was up at the space station.
It's going to be able to bring in women.
And isn't that what we want?
Necessarily. Yes, exactly. That's what we want. And it opens up space to commercialization, which is a desired outcome. We need to have a commercial presence in space, not just the government paying for everything, but private suppliers and private buyers.
Right.
Can we just put stickers all over it like NASCAR?
You could totally have stuff sponsored like that. That would be a desired outcome. Like if there's money being made on orbit, then there's more money coming into space exploration as a whole.
Pizza Hut once put a big Pizza Hut sticker on a Soyuz rocket.
They did?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
It's like the only time a rocket has ever sported like an advertisement on it. It was Pizza Hut.
I
want to see him put a frozen pizza on the side with a camera.
Let me see if I can find it. And also, yes, Harry, I see what you said, Harry, and I'm gonna look that up because that sounds like
no. They actually had Pizza Hut pizza on the space station on the same mission, I believe.
They did.
Yep.
They did
because there's a picture of the astronaut eating it.
There it is.
Eating.
It can't be that big.
It's not that. No,
that's totally awfully, just horribly
there it is.
photoshopped.
Right there.
That's going to be the one.
Yeah, this will be the one. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna.
It's probably.
I don't think it's gonna be much bigger. Yeah, it's not gonna be much.
That's not very good.
Here you go.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's
not very big.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's. I'm just saying the image itself.
Relatively.
I want
that's a big picture.
I was hoping
How about
to
the
find
picture with this general standing in front of it right here?
But right next to it is the astronaut eating.
They have Pizza Hut.
Oh wait,
the best look on his face.
He's got. Is he wearing a Pizza Hut
this
hat?
astronaut, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So let's see.
That was 2001. It looks like it was the 80s.
And then the I don't know if you guys saw the tweet, the announcement today that Tom Cruise will be flying to the ISS.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there
in October. We need to get there.
We're getting there.
Okay.
Did y'all see the news anchor that did the story on that?
Yes, we're getting there.
See that? Oh my god, that was great.
Ourselves? Oh, I got to change my background.
Yeah,
background has changed.
That was fantastic.
There we go. I am ready.
Wait, let's
talk about Mr. Cruise.
Oh man.
Okay, yeah. This is Harry mentioned this in the chat. Thank you, Harry. This has just been posted by SpaceX. This is a Raptor vacuum engine being tested. Here, let's
Ooh, look
I'm
at the mock diamond.
Hang on, let me check my levels here.
Say what?
There was audio. Don't worry.
Let's blow that up.
Oh my god.
Oh
That is so pretty.
Gosh.
yeah. Oh, they didn't even show the whole burn.
No.
Now, worth noting, this is, I'm guessing, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. This is sans nozzle. This does not have the extended nozzle on it.
Correct. They put a regular
Well, it's just like it's
sea level nozzle on it.
I don't know if it's the sea level. I think it's everything but the part that extends out further. Like and maybe somebody in the chat can I don't know, at least back me up on it. I know we're not rocket scientists here, but I'm pretty sure that the nozzle is much longer when it's an actual like a vacuum nozzle on there.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I think that just for the test, because they do have to have a nozzle on it. You can't run it without the nozzle.
Right.
And in fact, the wide nozzle would not fire correctly if they put the wide nozzle on it at sea level. So they have to put something on there. And I believe that's just a standard nozzle.
You know what? I could be totally wrong about that because this looks an awful lot like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Where did they test that at though?
This seems to have.
Oh, right there, McGregor.
This seems to have the same gear as this part down here, but it seems to only be as long as this upper part here. You see what I'm saying?
We need her to stand next to the other one.
They do have to have the same.
Yeah,
so
there's perspective.
We need to compare this.
They do have to have the same
SpaceX's
cooling
tweet.
system inside of the nozzle.
In the replies.
Yeah.
Well,
Because
that's what
vacuum
I'm
nozzle is cooled by liquid oxygen running through it. Actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just perspective too.
Perspective is going to be a big thing because
So maybe that is just the full. But it's like it's missing this part. It's missing this part, this smooth part, right?
Slick part, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's there.
I think it's just perspective.
Yeah, it's perspective. It's there.
Is it
You're
there?
looking at it at like a very different angle than
Yeah.
you would expect to.
Yeah, see,
Yep,
it's right
it
there.
is. It's up there. Yeah. Okay. It's right.
Yeah,
It's
that's
right.
just-
Okay. So that's the full nozzle. Awesome.
Yeah, that is a full nozzle.
Wow. Oh, it's just beautiful. That's cool, man. I didn't realize that they were testing the vacuum engine already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same.
they got to test everything.
We just learned something while we were doing the show.
Man. Breaking news right here on Pressing for Flight.
That's it. We're all drooling.
I want to get to this special thing that I had just for Daryl. Daryl is dog sitting right now, a very special friend, and I picked the very best clip of this. The corgi races.
Please tell me one stops and takes a dump in the field.
Heat 2.
Come on, man. Spoiler alert. Right?
Hopefully
does
none
it?
of them
I hope
are
so.
heat.
I don't know. All right. And pay attention to these names. Oh, man, they're so good.
Ready, go! Here come the fluffy baby corgis, and we have dog savaging taking place all over the place. Murray is looking good, and so is Teddy, and I think Teddy won. Teddy and Logan Handsomepants, who wants to run back for more.
Handsomepants, go!
Look at Logan Handsomepants.
Which actually looks like the dog that Daryl is dog sitting. Let's see. Look at that. That looks like I don't remember the dog's name. Sorry, Daryl, but that does look like the dog that he's dog sitting.
How'd you find this? Like, what were you searching?
I'll tell you, I can't tell you.
You got totally different.
That was that dark web search.
No, this was if you guys
Handsomepants.
Logan Handsomepants.
Logan Handsome.
No,
Pants.
Daryl's dog's name is Beans.
Oh, Beans. Okay.
Beans.
Yeah.
Beans Handsomepants.
Daryl said, "Check the Pressing for Flight Twitter." By the way, what? Why? Right now?
Oh,
Why?
Away.
I'm scared.
Quickly checking. Oh, okay. Here, let's go. Where's my dang mouse?
Right there.
It might be a picture of a corgi. I can't tell you one way or the other. Replied to which tweet here? Okay, to that tweet. Oh.
BFF.
All right. Little Tom Cruise. And there you go.
Oh,
Tuckered out from running around.
Beans, Handsomepants.
Beans, Handsomepants.
So yeah, the way that I found that was, if you guys know who Jake Robbins is, he's the host of We Martians podcast. I don't remember what his tweet was, but someone responded to him with a video that to like cheer him up or something. And so I got on YouTube and searched for corgi races. And they are out there. That's a 12-minute long video, y'all.
Yes, bro. Yes.
12 minutes.
Yeah, that's 12 minutes of
that was only Heat 2.
Unadulterated corgi racing.
it's worth the watch.
That's only Heat 2.
Yeah,
That's only Heat 2.
Yeah.
Who was the winner of Heat 1?
Who doesn't have 12 minutes?
We're not spoiling. I mean, people want to watch this for themselves. I mean, it's hard-hitting news right here on Pressing for Flight.
3.2 million views.
Corgi races Heat 2.
And this is from 2016, by the way.
Still, it's got 3 points.
Where are they now? Google Logan Handsomepants.
All right, here we go.
Where is he now?
Oh, no, you're not. Oh, it came up right away.
It came up. Logan Handsomepants. Oh man, we're not going down this rabbit hole right now.
He's got a damn Instagram.
Oh, we will go there. Look at Logan Handsomepants.
That is such a handsome dog.
Look at this.
He's such a boy.
Stephanie said that's a lot of dogs in heat, but
I knew that joke was coming.
Okay, and there, just real quick, you guys have already seen this, but in case you haven't, there was a certain test the other night. What night was this, actually? This was, well, the 23rd, yesterday morning, early yesterday morning. A certain water tower went pop.
Uh-oh.
No, it was good. It's
Press
good.
to failure.
Yeah, they were pressing to failure to see just how far it can make it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's some more Starship progress for you. As you probably well know, NASA spaceflight is the place to go for that. We are not following it. I can't follow every single day of every iota of detail of what's going on out there, but this is exciting. I love how the ice falls off the side as soon as it pops. It's just
Whoa.
And then Elon tweets out the morning after picture.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he tweeted out a picture with it was the top of the tank is all crushed in.
Yeah, I was trying to find it. I didn't remember that it was him that tweeted it. Let's see.
I'm pretty sure it was him.
I saw a picture.
No, it wasn't. It was Cruise Images.
Who?
It was Cruise Images.
Cruise?
Yeah, he's out there getting a lot of the pictures as well. So it's like him. There's Space Padre.
That's the wrong one. You happen to know the actual Twitter handle?
I do not.
Yeah, I was trying to find it because I thought that I had liked it or retweeted it or something, but I could not find it.
Yeah, there you go. Space Intelligence. Click right there on Space Intelligence.
Oh.
Click on that. And I'm pretty sure he retweeted because he shoots for them.
All right,
Keep going. I know that he retweeted it.
Okay, so he tweets a lot. Let's see. Oh, there it was.
There it is.
Bam.
Yep, there it is.
Bam. Morning after. Yeah, so the whole top didn't come off, it looked like it. It looked like it threw it up into the sky, but it just broke.
It looked like it shattered. Even you can see the weld, and it actually broke over the weld and kept going.
Yeah, it broke straight over.
Yeah, it didn't even
right there.
It didn't even follow the seam, did it?
Nope.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That tells you the weld's very strong if it didn't follow it.
Yeah.
Yeah, That's true.
That's what
It's
you
the
want.
stir welding.
So they had to have gotten it up pretty high. You know,
Yeah.
they talk about bar numbers, and I'm not a physicist, but they're going for like 8 or 9 bar, right?
8 or
a lot
9
of their
bars, so
equipment
that's
is
8
bad.
or 9 times the amount of atmosphere or pressure. So multiply that times 14.89, and that's how many like pounds per square inch it was.
Is that right? Is
Blowing
that
a
how
very
it's done?
large beer can.
I thought
Yes.
bar was kind of a different thing. It's like blowing up a beer can. You're right, Doug. It is just like blowing up a beer can.
What
We
does
could
the
do
rest
that.
of it look like?
Pretty much the
probably look
same.
the same.
Actually,
pretty
yeah,
much the same.
Pretty
It
much
only
the same.
the only failure point was the top.
Yeah, and once one spot gives, nothing else needs to give, right?
It's
Like,
gonna release all that pressure. Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be explosive and it's going to rip, further than just like one spot. But once that pressure's released, nothing else really needs to give. So there you go. And that's by the way, we're talking about the Artemis plans, and they're talking about the budget, and this vehicle that they're testing right now out in the open is one of the ones that's being considered for the human landing system, and they need to make a certain amount of progress before they can make it to the next round. In fact, Jim Bridenstine was questioned about, why don't they skip the part where they go from 3 providers down to 2 and just go straight to 1? And he made a great point, and he said, if you remove competition, then things start getting drawn out and start costing more. So it's important that you keep as many in there as is reasonable for as long as possible, so that they're all competing against each other for that contract. I mean,
Plus, I mean, if you end up with 3 fully flushed out systems, there's more people who want to go to the moon than just NASA.
Oh, yeah.
With last week's announcements.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so as it is right now, Blue Origin and the national team, they got the most money from the first round, right? And then, in fact, I think Starship or SpaceX got the least, and Dynetics was somewhere in the middle. But we'll see who is where the next round. Isn't it they have until like next January or February before they do the next down select? Does that sound right to anybody?
That sounds about accurate.
Yeah. Okay. All right, the next thing. And this is the thing y'all were trying to spoil for me.
Yeah, this is so good.
This is very good. Okay, pay attention, y'all. Pay attention.
Perhaps you heard, next October, Tom Cruise will head to the ISS on a SpaceX rocket to film his next movie. He is a legend and far and away one of our most successful actors. SpaceX is an American-made company with a few good men like Elon Musk. Space is a risky business, but SpaceX has made all the right moves. It won't be a mission impossible, not when you have the collateral of Tom Cruise. Unless you've been living in oblivion or have gone through life with your eyes wide shut. You know Cruise and Musk both know the color of
movie
money.
pun guy here.
Personally, I look forward to next fall, where I'll have a cocktail in hand, watching the launch on the Space Coast. I just hope the weather holds, and there are no days of thunder, and it doesn't rain, man.
It doesn't rain, man. That's beautiful.
That's our local news too for you.
Is that us? Oh, that is us.
It's Channel 9.
Yeah.
He deserves a Peabody Award for that.
it's
My
so
God,
good.
that was awesome.
How did I not retweet that? Okay, here we go.
Oh, that makes my heart so happy.
So good, man.
Oh, they should have added this at the end of it.
Did he say anything about risky business?
He did, yeah. He's
did.
like, we know it's risky
Space
business.
is a risky business.
Good.
So well done.
I knew it far and away because that's my favorite Tom Cruise movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and after the clip here, they're like,
Oh, well, you've been working on all morning. I've been sitting here all morning. Hey, what are you doing?
I was
You all
busy.
right?
No.
He's like, that was it?
yeah. So he'd been working on that. So that was very clever.
He should have added this at the end.
That's the sound that Tom Cruise is going to make when Falcon
When the
9
thing
lifts
lifts
off.
off.
Yeah. Play
Now,
it again.
he wants to be trained enough and get enough flight hours, which he already has in fighter jets. He has enough flight hours to do the astronaut training to actually be able to like pilot the Dragon capsule.
He might. Now they do already have. Let's see what is this? Okay,
Because that's supposed to be in October of next year.
right. And actually, you guys should be following Space Shuttle Almanac as well. It posts a lot of good stuff. This account is the first to point out that that it will be Tom Cruise and Doug Liman as director, with the SpaceX pilot, which I think should be Commander Lopez Alegria. And Lopez Alegria is actually an employee of Axiom. I was reading a great article on Spaceflight Now, written by Stephen Clark, and he goes over all of this in great detail and talks about how once the contracts are signed, oh dang it, what was his name again? Alegria. Alegria?
Yeah, there's a show. Well, there used to be a Cirque du Soleil show called Alegria.
Okay, there you go. You heard it here first. Lopez Alegria is his last name, but he's going to be an employee of Axiom, which is a Houston-based company. Let's see. Axiom said that the mission would include a professional astronaut and 3 paying passengers flying on a SpaceX Crew Dragon to the International Space Station in the second half of 2021. They never say this isn't. This all comes from an interview that Stephen Clark did, and they never actually say that it's Tom Cruise and company. But we know who it is.
Yes, and the third tourist spot is actually going to be for whoever his major co-star is in the movie as well.
Right, yeah. There's still one unoccupied seat. Yeah. And the director...
Volunteers Tribute.
What was his name? Doug Liman. Does anybody recognize Doug Liman from anything?
Doug Liman.
Well, I'll just...
I don't know. I don't
have
idea.
It's going to be like an action movie?
Probably.
Well, yes, it's going to be Mission Impossible. That's an action movie, bro.
I don't think it's Mission Impossible.
Is it?
It's totally, yes, it's going to be the next Mission Impossible. The tweet I read said it was going to be the next Mission Impossible.
Well, some of the movies that he's done are Edge of Tomorrow, Swingers, Fair Game, and one of my favorites is The Bourne Identity. So you know he's a good director.
As long as he's going to do 2, 3, and then whatever Snorefest was after that of The Bourne.
Oh, The Bourne Identity?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one was good, and then I was like, I was out.
Yeah.
Do we have a timeline of how long they were supposed to be up there? Was it like 2 weeks?
10 days.
Yeah, it's 10 days to the Axiom is able to contract anywhere from 10 to 14 days.
And actually, I learned in reading that article that they sort of started out, really what they're doing now is facilitating private passengers.
Yes, Axiom is the company that is developing the orbital hotel.
Right.
Okay.
But they don't have that yet.
No, they don't have that yet. This is the first step toward that. They have to show NASA that, hey, we're going to bring people up here. We're going to do it right. And then NASA,
and they're going to deal with the whole thing. Like it's not going to be a big hassle for NASA. Obviously, NASA is going to be involved, but it's not going to have to be this huge hassle for NASA. It's not going to take
NASA
one of NASA's...
doesn't have to train anybody. Like they're going to make sure that they're healthy enough, make sure that they're checking all the boxes medically and physically. And when it happens, it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be really good.
I haven't read too much up on it. Is it going to be attaching to the International Space Station, or is it going to be its own entity?
No, it's attaching to the. Now, okay, this mission is going to be Crew Dragon just going to the space station.
Yes.
In the future, Axiom is first going to have a module that they attach to the space station.
Yes, it will be brought to the station.
It's not going to be there for this thing, right?
No, it won't be there for this thing. They are working on a module that'll attach to the station. That's going to be essentially the first private industry space in space, and they're going to be able to rent that out for
Bigelow.
like hotel space.
Bigelow did theirs too.
Yeah, Bigelow did theirs, but they didn't put anybody on it, did they?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
see,
no, it was just a test.
Yeah, Axiom wants to develop an entire hotel module to put on the ISS, and that's just the beginning. Eventually, they would like that hotel module to be able to free fly off into a different orbit, and there you go. You have your very first orbital hotel.
And this Lopez Alegria is actually a former NASA astronaut who has flown 4 missions. Let's see, 2 or 3 on the space shuttle, and then 1 on Soyuz, and he was actually the commander of one of the expeditions. So he's very, very knowledgeable, very experienced. Just happens to work for Axiom now. So, you know.
And it's good that the former astronauts can find like jobs that are directly in line with what they used to do.
It's like it's happening. It's like the commercialization of space is happening. Like if they want to leave NASA, they can, and they can still find similar work with other companies.
Yes. I wish the Navy was like that.
Well, he is ex-Navy. He is ex-Navy, but
now I got to look him up.
Yeah.
You're making me curious.
Yeah, let's see. I wish I could find the part. And Mike Suffredini is also working with Axiom. He co-founded Axiom. He used to manage the International Space Station, so he knows what he's doing as well. I want to see. Mike L.A. They call him Mike L.A. He's our commander for the first flight. He's helped Axiom recruit prospective customers and answer their questions about flying in space. He said it's a very personal element to talk about, to talk to various individuals who want to go fly. This is Suffredini talking, said of Lopez Alegria's role with Axiom to date. It's a huge experience. It's a very big expense. It's really about helping them understand what it's really like and helping them get comfortable. The way we do it is a really safe approach. We're experienced. This mission will be called AX-1 for Axiom 1. So there you go. It's October of next year. Oh, they do talk about the price. Of course, he didn't confirm it officially, but the often quoted commercial price to fly to the space station and back on a Crew Dragon is roughly $50 million, and Mike Suffredini confirmed that price is in the right ballpark, and that's going to be per seat, I'm guessing.
Yes.
So they're going to make a cool $200 million on this, and that's, I think, quite a bit of profit, because I think
that's like about 100% profit, probably more in the range of like
80. Yeah. It's not like double. It's, you know, I don't think their cost is.
It's SpaceX, right? So SpaceX rocket, the rocket itself only actually cost them to make with their production line like $50 million tops.
Right, tops. Yeah, because the base price has always been like 62 million.
Yeah.
So.
And that gives them that 35%. That would be the retail formula, the 35% profit margin, right?
But when you throw a Dragon on there,
when you throw the Dragon on there, it does add cost. They are still going to make a lot of money on this. So good for them. I want to see these private markets really taking off.
Good point, Seth. Yeah, especially if this is a flight-proven booster and capsule, so they'll save a little money. Yeah,
this
will be a really good thing for SpaceX, and I hope that this kind of thing continues and it's not just a one-off. I mean, you know, some people have said, well, why don't they just film it on the ground? You can film it on the ground a lot cheaper. Well, there's a certain pizzazz to being able to say this movie was actually filmed in space,
and it's going to happen anyway. They're going to be the first ones to do it. They're not the last ones to do this. It's not going to be a one and done footprints
No.
in the sand
Yeah.
kind of approach.
Right.
There are going to be more movie makers. What I would like to see is like movies about space missions that are actually filmed in space.
Right. Yeah. And
Though
over
I
time,
will say Gravity was so well done.
yeah, and that was all in the studio. But over time, it's going to become cheaper.
Mhm.
You know, that once they start getting their development costs paid down and stuff like that, I would think that it's going to become, and especially once Starliner gets going, and if they start booking private passengers, then they're going to have to be
there's
competitive.
competition.
Yep.
Yes. Starliner coming aboard is going to lower price. Another competitor to this market. You know, if Dreamliner ever becomes, or Dream Chaser ever becomes a reality and actually flies, that'll be something that it also provides competition. So the market will thrive because of that competition, and we will see launch prices plummet.
Mm-hmm. And to give you an idea, Dream Chaser is on this chart. Supposed to fly roughly the same time, looks like.
Yes.
Some like October, November next year.
Absolutely.
You know what else is supposed to fly next October? James Webb. Finally. I hope.
Finally. Let's hope. Like, I mean, they were saying things are getting pushed back because of COVID's.
Yeah.
It's a sad reality. Like I didn't realize like what production floors look like in living in a COVID America. I didn't know what that looks like. I work in a big, huge factory building, and we are divided into zones, and you cannot cross into another zone, which provides a lot of problems because stuff is stored in one zone that needs to be used in another zone. We have to pass it between zones at these drop-off zones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, okay. Because I feel like NASA has done, and other industry, space industry companies, they've done better than a lot of other industries as far as like keeping their people apart and, making sure anybody that can do their work from home does, and anybody that has to be, actually on a factory floor is social distancing.
Yes. And the company I'm working for, they do a great job of it. Like there's dividers and everyone's in a face mask, and they're really good.
Yeah. Okay. So kind of wrapping up here, that Blue Origin, the New Shepard launch that was supposed to happen this morning is now happening tomorrow. And they're
tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow morning. It's 1500 UTC, which is 11 o'clock for us. You do the math wherever you're at. It's 10 a.m. Central Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And they're testing out some like landing hardware. This has to have something to do with their human landing system for the moon, right? Wouldn't you think?
So they're testing out. There's actually like 13 or 14 different missions on this one craft at this time.
Right.
The big one is the NASA mission. They are testing out some landing hardware for their lunar mission, as well as some of their instrumentation for actually like observational things for a lunar lander. So they're running those tests. And then there's several other missions like small sats that are also aboard that will be gone.
They're not going to deploy them, are they?
I don't know. It sounded like a lot like
they just have different experiments on board on the inside. I don't think they actually deploy anything.
From reading it sounded like they were deploying things. So I don't know.
Well, it would come down. It would come down too, because they don't fly orbital. So whatever
they do not.
If they did deploy something out of New Shepard, which I don't think they are set up to do that, it would still come right back down. So it might as well stay on board. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, no, Seth.
Go Bolts. Go Lightning.
Chat was discussing if you jump from the ISS, would you burn up?
Yes.
I think so.
It would take a while,
you'd
long
be
while.
traveling at the same speed.
Yeah, because
traveling very fast.
Yeah, you think about how much energy you can impart on yourself by just jumping. That's the most you could hope for. And you would have to do it in a retrograde fashion. You wouldn't want to jump straight towards the Earth, because if you ever played Kerbal, pointing at the Earth and firing your thrusters is no way to get to the Earth. And actually, Scott Manley has a great video on why that is. So I'm not
Scott
gonna.
Manley at it again.
Yeah, it's one of those things that Kerbal doesn't teach you. But what you would have to do theoretically is you would have to get on the backside of whatever direction the space station is going and push out that way, right? So basically, do a retro fire with your legs. There's no way you could cancel out enough energy to even come down into the atmosphere.
No, you would be falling for months, if not years.
But if the question is, say you've got one of those rocket packs that Bruce McCandless used.
You still wouldn't. That thing does not have enough delta V to pull you out of orbit.
I'm trying to think hypothetically, if you could slow yourself down enough to actually re-enter the atmosphere.
Would you burn up? Yes.
Absolutely.
You would turn into Krispies. You would be a bright light in the sky and then dust.
Now, and I understand the thinking. It might be that, well, you're so light that you would slow down quickly enough before the heat starts to build up, but I don't think so.
Harry says use a space kayak. I'm down.
I think Kyle has one.
Space kayak?
Yeah. He's always talking about throwing the kayak in the water, right? Kyle says moose. I feel like that's a good place to end it. I don't know what moose, originally an acronym for Man Out of Space Easiest, but later changed to the more professional sounding Manned Orbital Operations Safety Equipment, was a proposed emergency bailout system.
Mouse?
No, it's moose.
Yeah, Manned Orbital Operations Safety Equipment. But they're going to have to change it to COOS because it's crude orbital operations.
Coos.
Coos.
I think that sounds pretty bad.
It sounds great. Hey, that's a show. Tomorrow night, Delta Heavy. Either watch in person or watch online. You know, ULA will have their stream going. It will be cut off after fairing deployment because it's NRO. You know, they don't want you to see what they're doing.
No.
Make sure to
Doug, no real news on Starlink.
Like and
Just launch another
subscribe.
rocket.
And subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. Pressing 4 flight. The 4 is a number 4. As far as Starlink goes, we did touch on it earlier. It's supposed to launch Sunday morning, 10:43, I think, but other sources have said 10:33. But that is just the beginning of the thing that the weather window. But I think that's going to be pending a successful Delta Heavy launch. So
I know where I'll be.
Yeah, hey, we'll be right there, front and center. And that's a show. Thanks, everybody, for being in the chat. Harry, Daryl, Seth, Doug, Stephanie is in there, Kyle, Doug again, Eric, Stephen Kegel. Who the hell? Whoever that is.
I don't know.
That guy.
That yahoo.
All right.
I heard he has a Tom Cruise on his back.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting heavy. I gotta go.
Shutdown sequence initiated. Shutting down.